Hey, Mike Mata here. We're going to talk about when you have those pesky intermittent network problems and you want to basically build a go back in time machine. This is how we're going to do it. We're going to use TShark rather than Wireshark. Wireshark takes a lot of extra processing and overhead to build it. You could do it in Wireshark, but I'm going to show you the easy way to do it with TShark. So the first step is to get into your command line interface, go to Program Files, Wireshark. And again, you may have multiple interfaces, so I'm going to do dump cap space dash D, that will capital D. That will list out all of the interfaces in my box, and you'll notice I have 3 different interfaces. So I could capture on my port number 1, which would be the server, or port number 2, which is the internet. And I have a management port in my box, so I'm going to capture on port number 2. And the way that we do that is you type in this command, and I'll explain this command here in just a second. But type in TShark space dash I, which is the interface, and then number 2. Again, I explained why. I want to look at my internet port. I want to see all the traffic to and from the internet. And I'm going to do a dash B, which will file size of 100,000 KB, which is basically I'm going to write 100 meg files measured in kbytes. So 100,000 kbytes is basically a 100 meg file. I'm going to write 250 of those files to a folder called traces2 named capture, and then they're going to be .pcap. And then the name will also include the date and timestamp. And then also the dash F is going to write them out in a file format of .pcap as opposed to pcap-ng. So there's as hard as it is, and basically you type all that wonderful stuff in. You could even create a batch file if you want to do that. That'll be for a different video, but here we go. Hit enter, and it will start capturing on port number 2. And we can see there's packets coming in. I'm going to go ahead and start downloading something so we can actually see that happens a little faster. We can start capturing, and you'll see lots of packets jump up. And we'll pause this for a second and come back to it and actually take a look at the traces2 directory and see the different files that are written. Okay, so you can see it's recorded quite a few packets, 63,000 packets. Again, typically we want to use this type of scenario when we're having problems. The problem is intermittent. We can't reproduce it. So here's a quick and dirty, easy way to basically create a back-in-time type of device where you're just writing a bunch of captures, 100 meg captures. When the problem happens, they tell you it happened at 10:15 this morning. You can then open the appropriate trace file that is time-stamped for the time that they say. And again, to see the files, it's as simple as open up your traces2 folder or wherever you decide to write them. And they told you it happened at 10:15, so here's one that's started at 10:13 and goes to 10:21. The next one starts at 10:21, so I can probably presume that capture is in that particular file. But worst case, it's I've got 2 different files that I can go through and look at the packets. So I hope that was helpful. Again, an easy way to create your own back-in-time analyzer that will write packets automatically for you. Very low overhead, and again, you can even create a batch file based on that same scenario. Again, TShark-I interface 2, and write out those files for you. So make it a great day. Thanks for listening. Bye now.